What's going on, all you gamers? Today we're going to be jumping into a little bit of Elden Ring, and I'm going to be going over the top 3 farms, best early, mid to late game, and of course endgame, in order to get yourself a massive amount of runes really fast. Welcome back, all you gamers. Today we're going to be taking a look at Elden Ring, some rune farms that are absolutely amazing. But one thing to remember, as always, if you really want to get the best from these, then making sure you acquire that gold scarab talisman. And of course, if you wanted to be using a gold pickled fowlfoot for any of the ones where you don't need to fast travel over and over again, then this will help you out massively. Now, as always, if you enjoyed this and if you'd like to see more of the latest gaming from me, then why not hit the subscribe and bell icon. But for now, we're going to be jumping into how you can get yourself a load of runes really easy early game. So the best way early game, and even though it does seem like a bit of a nightmare at the start, this is by far the best that I've found, and that's by making your way all the way over to here, and that's Fort Faroth. If you are watching this one, you're probably a little bit newer to the game, or you've just come back as a returning player, and making your way here is no easy feat. But ultimately, the main thing you'll be doing is making your way straight over to here, the Third Church of Marika, fast travel straight in. Then you're going to walk forward a slight bit, chuck a left through this wall, and again making your way over this way through the overgrowth. If you have a look over here, there's going to be a teleporter. You're going to want to click on this and it's going to fast travel you to the next place you need to get to. Now, I'm fast forwarding this because otherwise this would be a really long video. If you are very new to the game, just remember this bit is going to be a little bit scary, as there are absolutely massive amounts of monsters. There's going to be a dragon, there's going to be a whole bunch of enemies that you should not be taking on, and for that reason I would highly advise you don't. Just run past everything. You're going to be wanting to make your way through the route I show here, and eventually we're going to end up at Fort Faroth. Make sure you activate that last Sight of Grace, so that you've got somewhere to come straight back to if things do go wrong. Just keep heading in the direction I show here. Absolutely skip everything. You do not want to take anything on, as if you're low level they're probably going to one-shot you, as you're going to be well under geared. Like I said, just keep making your way along this road all the way down to the place we're after. Again, if you need to stop and find the waypoint, you can, but once you see this wall, you'll know you're at the exact location you need to be at. So activate this grace point. From here, I've clicked back to my older footage of me doing this the first time over. You're going to be taking on an absolutely huge hulking beast, and that's going to be this massive dragon right here, the sleeping dragon. In order to take this on, you will need a few things. The main thing you're going to need will be a weapon that causes some kind of blood loss build-up, because without that you'll be hacking at this thing for days and you'll have absolutely no joy. There are quite a few weapons in the game to help you out, but after I tried quite a few of them, I found, especially early on, probably one of the best ones you're going to be going for will be either the Reduvia dagger, or one of the easiest to get hold of will be the hooked claws. From here, you're just going to keep attacking the dragon. It will take you a little while, as you will do 0 damage until you have that one massive hit from the blood loss build-up. After a certain amount of time though, the health will dwindle down, allowing you to finally take it down and net yourself a nice amount of runes. If you've used the golden fowlfoot, you're probably going to get somewhere in the region of 90,000. Now at this point, which I didn't do the first time over, if you're fast enough, as it's actually getting knocked out, what you're going to want to do is jump straight back on your horse and travel as fast as you can back to the last Sight of Grace, where you're going to rest. Make sure you don't fast travel, as this will completely null and void it, but if you're able to make this in time, you can make it so that the dragon actually respawns. From here you can rinse and repeat to your heart's desire, unless they've actually patched this, but you'll definitely be able to do it once, and if you're lucky you'll be able to do it continually. Next up, and probably my favourite rune farm in the entire game, So easy to do once you've actually got to this area that it is well worth knowing. This is going to be your mid to later game farm. You're going to have to make your way up to the snowy region. You're going to have gone past the Grand Lift of Road, past the secret path to the Hallig Tree, and then you're going to want to make your way to the Ordina Liturgical Tan. Now there is a little puzzle that you have to solve within this tan, but it's well worth doing, as once that is, you'll be able to do this farm and you'll be able to get yourself a massive amount of runes. So at this spawning point, all you gotta do will be to jump straight on your trusty steed again, and then you're going to proceed in the direction I show here. Make your way round, straight up this bit here, and then you're just going to make sure you sprint at this part, do a jump, leave it a second, do another jump, and then you're going to start swinging away with your weapon in your right or left hand. After roughly a minute, the game is going to realise you've gone outside of the zone, and it's going to net you a large amount of money, as if you've kind of defeated the enemies here. I fast forwarded this, but it usually takes about a minute, and it's going to net you, once you've got that golden scarab on, over 100k runes each time, meaning you'll get roughly a million every 10 minutes. Last but definitely not least, and we're going to have the Mogwin's Palace farm. Now if you don't know how to get here, I will link a guide up the top right that's going to show you the whole quest chain of White Mask Vare, but ultimately I would probably recommend coming here once you've completed the game. You're also going to want, like I said earlier, the gold scarab talisman and probably a gold pickled Foulfoot. This is going to mean you get a massive amount of runes. Also, like I said, very end game, I pretty much started farming here once I'd defeated the final boss and was able to obtain the Sacred Relic Sword. You're going to be able to get this from the remembrance from the final boss, and it's definitely worth having, as it's probably the best farming weapon in the game. So remember, you've gone to the Palace Approach Ledge Road. That's going to be the fast travel you're after. Upon spawning in there, you're going to walk slightly forward, and then you're going to activate your skill on that sword, and it's going to absolutely wipe everything out. This sword is second to none for taking out multiple targets, and is pretty much the reason why this is the best farm in the game still to this day. Literally walk forward, spam that skill once, and then just make your way back. You're going to get yourself easily over 30,000 runes every single time you do this, and it's probably going to take you around about 10 seconds every single time you're going back and forth. You're going to be able to get even more than that if you've got the gold Foulfoot on, as I didn't have that on while I was using this one. Well worth knowing is a very endgame though. Like I said, you will have to defeat the final boss. But if you're trying to absolutely max out your stats, or you're trying to do this because you want to be really powerful for New Game Plus, then it's definitely worth knowing. But as always, for all the latest gaming, take care. I'll see you on the next day.